elated that that you're sharing some time with us tonight. And before I go on, I'm going to introduce you to our special guest. Our special guest, y'all. I know y'all been waiting on her because I know you've been looking at my posts, and I know you've been like, "Oh, I can't wait to meet her." Well, I'm going to bring up to the platform tonight, Miss Talaina Wright. Hey, Talaina.
Hi.
And I am pronouncing your name correctly, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, Talaina, guys, is a scholar. She is smart, and you're going to find that out in just a few minutes. And she is the owner. She's an entrepreneur. She's the owner of Chosen Bath and Body. And wait until you see her products because they are the bomb. So, Talaina, let's talk about you for a minute.
Okay.
Tell us about Talaina. Who are you?
Well, I am a soul. I
I am a
am
soul,
I am
a beautiful
um
soul at that.
yes, I am a beautiful soul. And I own a business, as you have mentioned, as well as I study biomedical sciences in school, as well as I'm a friend and a sister and a daughter, has a and an aunt, all the fun stuff.
Okay.
And yes,
So give us a little background, like where you from, where you studying, and a little bit about your business before we'll really delve into your business later. But where are you from, and where are you in school?
yeah. So I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I was raised in Rome, Georgia, a little small town, way different from Cleveland. Um, but yeah, I I now go to university at Georgia State University, and I study interdisciplinary studies and enterprises. So I'm just getting the medical side of things and the entrepreneurial side of medicine. So
Ah,
yes.
so now what are you gonna? Are you planning to go into medicine, or what are you gonna do with that background? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I am going to go to graduate school to go do like holistic practicing, like acupuncture, um, any type of holistic that's to do with herbs. I'm all for it. So I just not into really modern medicine anymore. My original goal was to go to med school, so I was on the track. For my first 2 years, I was on the track. I was a chemistry major,
Okay.
and yeah, I was pre-med till I was going to go to medical school. But as I'm seeing how the world's changing, and I'm like, I'm not too interested in doing any of that. Or, I mean, God bless the frontline people, but I'm just not too really not interested in that.
I understand. I think a lot of us are being forced to kind of look at our medical care in a different way. We're having to look at more holistic things. It's what our ancestors did. They didn't have hospitals, or they used what the earth and the universe provided,
Yes,
and they were
definitely.
okay
Exactly. And
sometimes. So now they might not have lived to be 100. Some of them did, but they were okay.
exactly.
So you mentioned in your information to me that you didn't say this about your background, so we're gonna talk about it a little bit though. That you played a musical instrument since you
Yeah,
were not. You played several musical instruments since
yeah,
the age of 9 years old,
yeah.
and that's what sparked your creative side. So tell me about your musicianship.
Yeah, so I tried different things growing up. I feel like everyone has kind of had that experience. And really, I just found, well, I feel like my grandfather kind of was like pushing it, like, hey, you should play an instrument. And he had tons of instruments in his house. So um, just randomly, I decided to, I guess the trumpet is what I'm going to choose. And I joined the band when I was like in fifth grade. And from there, I started playing my trumpet. Um, and then when I graduated high school, I started playing cello for like 2 years. But cello, it's a huge instrument, and so I couldn't bring it everywhere with me. So I stopped playing it just because it's just really huge, you know.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
But they're good instruments, and they're actually great instruments to play. From what I understand, I play piano,
Okay. Yeah.
so I know the strings were always we were always told, oh, those are the instruments that are for like really gifted hands, like because you have to have a
Yeah.
lot of preciseness to
Yeah. And
do.
strength. Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So kudos to you. So see, you would make an excellent surgeon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. Yeah.
But that's okay. I like what you're doing on the holistic side, which
Yeah.
we're gonna go into a little bit. So you said that I know. So you're in school. You're doing your
Hmm.
undergrad studies. Tell me about Chosen Bath and Body and what drove you to pursue that particular industry or
Yeah.
that type
So
of business.
yeah. So I have eczema. I grew up with eczema, and I loved going to my dermatologist's office. Like, it was my favorite place to go because I'm not scared to go, because I knew I was going to get some type of healing or some type of ointment where he was going to help me, basically. So I really was just drawn into learning about the hair, skin, and nails, as well as my sister. She had cancer, so she started getting into holistic medicine to help her skin and things like that. Um, so she actually started the business. I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, at school at that point, and she started it, and I truly didn't even know anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then after she passed, I came home, and from there, like, me and my mom were just kind of looking through her stuff, and we noticed like there was a lot of products like shea butters and oils and stuff like that. And I was just my life was just I was trying to figure out what was my next step anyways. Like, I didn't know what to do, but I did know I wanted to go back to school. I just knew I couldn't afford it at the moment. So I stopped for a semester, um, and just tried to reevaluate my life. And from there, I jumped back into school, started my chemistry major, and yeah, from there I'm like, I really like the holistic side of this. Like, I really like learning about the atoms and like what are these products made out of and how can they help the body. I really just found an interest in it. And so
Wow.
I decided to change my major to something else. Like I said, the interdisciplinary studies, which is like biomedicine. And um, yeah, like I cure myself as well as I help people cure themselves without having to go. I mean, you can definitely please go to a dermatologist, I'm not, a
Right.
medical profession, but like still, there, I grew up taking like steroid topics, and I realized it was thinning out my skin. And so now I do not take any steroid topics. If anything, I will take hydrocortisone, which you can get that like for $1 at the dollar store. Like, um, and that's only if it flares up. But for the most part, I don't really use anything on my skin but my soaps and my body creams. So
Wow.
yes,
Taking it back to nature. So tell me about
exactly.
your. I know you do a lot of research on
Mhm.
your products before you even go to market with them. Tell us about what you look for in those ingredients that makes your products different.
Yeah, so I first make sure it's not going to clog your pores. I don't want it to feel heavy on your skin, you know. Because yeah, I just don't like that. I don't want it to be like thick like Vaseline, but I don't want to be as thin like lotion and like watery, you know. So I decided to actually change my product. So at first it was shea butter and palm oil, and I found palm oil to be, I just didn't like the texture anymore, to be honest. It was just, I didn't like the texture. So I changed it over to avocado oil, and I was like, yes, this hits. I love it. I want
Okay.
more of it, you know? So basically I just look for something that's not going to strip all like clog your pores too much, or it's going to strip really fast, basically, where you're not getting moisture for a long period of time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Y'all says hi.
Hi. Yeah.
So so how do you determine, like, tell me more about your products. Like, you have the let's talk about the Divine box and what products
Okay.
go in there and why.
Okay. Yeah. So I make soaps, and I have like four different soaps. Um, and how I don't know if you asked how I make them. I just go on like a soap making calculator, and they
Okay.
kind of do the calculations for me. I just make sure I am putting them in right when I measure them and put it on my scale and stuff. Um, but yes, you get two soaps. You get a body soap, and you get a hand soap slash face soap. Um, from there, you have the choice to choose a body cream. And I have pretty sure 4 cents of the body cream. And you get a lovely candle. Right now, I am using, I don't know if you can see that. Right now, I'm using the throat chakra candle. Um, and I
Let's
have,
see.
you have 7 chakras in your body. Well, actually, you have 7 chakras in your body, and then you have your light body, and then you have your thoughts and stuff. So, therefore, I have 9 candles that you can choose from in the Divine
Ah,
Box. Yes, and as well
okay.
as I have Palo Santo, so you can get Palo Santo sticks, or you can get a sage bundle stick, and the dragon blood sage stick, which I absolutely love. I love the smell. I've gotten good reviews about the sage stick because a lot of people don't like the smell of sage, but
Mm.
it's honestly just an incense, as well as it helps. It's an antiviral, has antiviral properties. So that means like once you inhale it, it is going to knock out some of those antiviral bacterias in your system. So yeah.
Now with the sage, because I use sage too, and the
Hmm.
last time I used some, I think my daughter bought it from uh Five Below or something. I was like,
Oh,
that is not. I was going nuts. I was like, that is not real sage. You need. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. It matters, right?
No,
When
yeah,
you
I feel
get
like
the
it.
sage, right?
Yes, it definitely matters. Once again, I use the dragon blood sage, so like it's a red sage. I wish I had one on me, but it's the resin on it matters, you know.
Ah,
And so if it's fake, I don't know if it was like sparking a lot, or
yes,
the smell just really bad. Yeah, like
yeah.
I would definitely stick to, shopping from me, or definitely go to like a botanic, yeah, botanical, I'm pretty sure it's called. Like a crystal shop basically. And
Yeah.
you can find some good sage there too. Yeah.
So let's talk about the chakra clearing and
Yes.
the spiritual side of that, because as we were talking before, I believe in that spirituality, and I believe that rituals are okay, and I believe that burning sage is okay. And Chris, I got
Correct.
my crystals right here. Let me show you. I've been energizing my crystals today. I got them
I
in my
love it.
wheel. So I let's talk about that a little bit because a lot of people kind of want to steer away from it. But I think it goes hand in hand with your spirituality, no matter what your religion is.
Exactly. Yeah, so like rituals, first of all, everyone does a ritual, whether that is brushing your teeth every night, before you go to bed, washing your face every morning, or simply going to a place of worship and repeating something, a prayer or the Lord's Prayer. That's a ritual. So regardless of what you want to call you burning sage or other people burning sage or whatever, sitting with tarot cards or something like that, it's simply like a practice that helps our to get connected to who we are. So yeah, so what chakra clearing, there's the root chakra, which is where your I don't know. I'm just gonna call it where my ovaries are. Yeah. So yeah. So there's the root chakra. There is the sacral chakra, which is my navel. There is the solar plexus, which is like where my stomach is. There is the heart chakra, and there is the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra, which is just around me. So with that, I work on certain things. So when I see that I am imbalanced, so sometimes I don't speak up when I should have, or I say too much where I should have, be quiet, and so um that's why I'm burning my throat chakra right now, because sometimes you just need to, hush, Talaina. But for the most part, I work on the certain chakra that I feel like is needed. And I always burn a heart chakra when I'm usually doing another burning, because I am love. All I want to give is love, and all I want to receive is love. So there's literally polarities to it. You can love or you can hate, or you can have love or you can have fear, which is not, still not good. So for the most part, I'm always working on my heart chakra. I think everyone needs to work on their heart chakra.
Absolutely.
Um, yes, and like with that comes shadow work. And shadow work is basically seeing the side that not too many people see, and it's not necessarily seeing a darker side of you, it's the evil side or whatever. It's simply seeing the side, being vulnerable when you show everybody else that you're, all tough, big bad, or whatever. You're simply going into your shadow and seeing the opposite side of you, or seeing the mirror of you. And how I stated that, I'm a reflection of God, and God has made, I mean, I guess I'll get into it, but God made the devil as well as he made many angels. So I'm just saying that, like, you have to don't have that like ego that the devil had, and understand your place. And
Mm,
it's just when I'm clearing my chakras, I'm understanding the place that it has been moved out of. Like, I'm understanding that, hey, I need to have more self-confidence. So I'm going to use my I want to burn my solar plexus candle. I'm going to start saying in the mirror that, I love you, Talaina. You're beautiful. You are cute. Like, you really gas yourself up, because if no one else is going to gas you up, like, you just got to do it yourself. Like, you got yourself. So at the end of the
absolutely.
day, yeah. And when I feel like very uneasy about my environment, or I just feel like not safe, or just really not alienated in a way, um, I would work on my root chakra to ground myself and remember where I am, remember the reality of situation, and understand that I am safe, I am grounded, I am whole, it's okay. And I don't see anything evil about this, because if we're going
Mm.
to go back to that, like, I'm
Oh,
simply always bringing out positivity, and I never, and that's the thing, like, I also understand that people need certain things. People need the church or the, uh, they just need certain things, which is fine with me. And I'm never going to force anything on someone. I will, say my opinion. And if you're really rocking with me, you wouldn't have, a problem with my opinion. But for the most part, I'm basically leading you to the water, but I'm not going to keep forcing you to drink the water, drink it. And it's like,
Right.
I won't say what I need to say. If it sparks, if it's there, you would drink the water. So, but I'm never going to be like, oh, I don't like to talk to these people because they're in church, or I don't like talking to these people because simply that's truly what I don't care about. Like I
Right.
simply don't care.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely. It's
yeah,
it's all about energy, and I feel like if someone is drawn to your energy and they are really seeking truth or seeking whatever that energy is that's coming from you, coming from you, then they're going to seek it. They'll hear what you say and they'll go seek it for themselves.
yeah,
So no, we don't have to push anything on anybody, and excited is not even the word, but it's so refreshing to hear you, a young person, talk about, self-care like that, because you guys are the next generation and you need it. You need to
yeah,
be grounded. You need to
yeah,
be focused. You need to be spiritually aware because there's a lot of things coming after you and us
yes.
to everybody. But if you're spiritually okay, it's fine.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
You're doing you and you're connecting to your source. And
thank
I
you.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
I your beautiful spirit. I just like your
Thank
mama. Your mama, look, your mama writing you little messages up in here. So
you.
I
Mom.
love you. Hey Tracy.
Thanks. I love you too, Mom.
She's your biggest cheerleader over here.
I see.
But yeah, so I love that, and I just encourage you to keep living in your truth, because
Thank
that's
you.
where you'll find you, and that's
Yes,
all you need.
exactly.
In your truth,
Exactly.
you find you in your truth, and and it's not going to always be good, like you said. I'm constantly working on my heart too, because honey, sometimes my heart ain't right. so,
Right.
so I understand. It's a constant cleansing that you have to do. But
Exactly.
I did the same thing when I was, practicing church, and I prayed all the time. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. You're praying for a clean heart. You're praying for understanding. You're praying for coverage. You're praying for, but the thing that was different for me was that I was praying for someone to do that for me from the outside when it's
And that's
inside of me all the time. So
it.
I'm,
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
Tracy,
No,
come get
I
your
agree.
baby, because me and her about to have our own little church up in here.
Yes.
So that's awesome, and it's very refreshing to hear
Yeah.
a young person that is enlightened for sure.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put I put your website. I'm gonna put it back up here so that our viewers can order their divine boxes and order your products. And I have to know, you have to tell me, because you're just every woman today. How in the world do you balance school and running a business full time? Because your business sounds like you're doing some good things.
Yes, thank you. So I actually work for Georgia State, and I've been working here since I started to go to the school. And it really has given me an opportunity to really focus on school and get paid, and focus on my business as well. So certain days I go over my all my products, and where I store my stuff is at my mom's house. So shout out to my mom because she lets me keep my
Shout out
stuff.
to mommy.
Yes.
Tracy.
And I go over her house and I sometimes like make products. I spend the day to make products or you know, yeah, or like package things, just depending on what I have to do, to be honest. Um with school, I really like to do schoolwork usually in the morning. Like I'm a morning person. I wake up literally, it's kind of annoying, but I usually my body wakes me up around like 7, 8. On
Really?
really good, yeah, on really good days, that's when it my body wakes me up. On bad days, or not really bad days, but for the most part, like 9 o'clock, I'm still up. So I usually do my schoolwork all morning until I like to do things to 5 o'clock. I'm not a 5 o'clock type of person. When I'm done usually like 3 to noon. You like we got it out the way. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, so I just definitely make sure I write things down. I have a planner, and that's once again from my mom, really putting me on to some things. Um, and yeah, like I just really try to, because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to get my degree for me. Like I'm not doing this for somebody else. Like, so I want to make sure I'm still on top of game. I'm not going to just say, whatever, to it. But I make sure I stay on top of my schoolwork as well as stay on top of my business, because that also matters to me. Because when I graduate, I don't plan on working 9 to 5. That is not something I'm interested in. Have Yeah, I don't like really being told to do things. I want to be the leader. So um yeah, and I definitely want to make sure my business is going to the direction of being at that level where I have employees that can help me out and I can do bigger things for the company or even start a new endeavor. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, you're making your sister proud. I want you to know that. I want you
Thank
to know
you.
that. And your mom and your aunt. Everybody's proud. I'm proud.
Thank
So
you.
hang in there, because how long do you have with your
I have a
studies? Oh,
year left.
girl, this time next year you'll be back on the show like I graduated. I
Yeah.
graduated.
Yes.
So, okay, so what now I have to ask you, what do you like to do for fun? What do you do for fun when you have time?
Yes. So I do hot yoga. That is literally my favorite thing to do is go do hot yoga. It was expensive. I ain't gonna lie, but it's so worth it because it helps my, I don't know, the energy around the room. Everyone is very, kind of in the same mental state that I am in, like really trying to heal in a way and not really forcing anything on anybody, as well as I always have been kind of flexible, so it just really helps my strength. And I sweat a lot. It's literally 90 something degrees in there. Like I'm sweating bullets. um as well as like I hike a lot. Like I've been
Wow,
putting a lot of people on. I'm like, you can come with me to hike, it's cool.
wow,
So I do a lot of that, a lot of running outside, a lot of just walking outside simply because nature really connects me and grounds me, because I'm a very whimsical person. I'm a very like, ooh, like for real. So and when I'm outside, it's nice to really you know, get grounded again. Um what else do I do? I paint. I do paint. I have a lot of paintings actually. I
okay,
just took them off my wall over here. But I have a lot of paintings right now, like on my floor right now. So yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, so okay, you hike, you do hot yoga. I think I saw you on Instagram doing a backflip or something one day. I was
Yeah.
like, how in the world? So, how is this? Were you inspired become more active when you lost the 50 pounds, or and tell us, girl, how did
Yeah.
you lose 50 pounds? Because I need to lose about 50 plus.
Yeah. So um yeah, so really how I lost the 50 pounds, I knew it was first of all the toxic energy I was around. That was one major issue that I had, that I was just building up and building up like my
Oh,
fat on top of me because of the toxic things that were around me. So that also comes with food. Like I stopped eating fast food like what, maybe now 2 years ago. Like I I don't mess with fast food
at
simply.
all.
Yeah, at all. And I started to only eat salmon. I think I'm saying that right. Salmon. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I only fish, and I really try to stay away from meat in general. I barely eat meat because how I kind of why I really stopped it was just because I understand energy. So these animals were killed uh
Mm,
unwillingly, like they didn't want to die. So you're getting that energy of their death basically, and I personally just really don't like that. And that's still what fish, these fish don't want to die either. So I try to keep my fish eating to a minimum as well. But for the most part, I eat a lot of like sweet potatoes, or I eat a lot of avocado bread. And I mean, I'm a snacker, first of all. I don't like meals. So
okay.
that's another thing. If I also do have, like I said, meat, I'm eating turkey meat, not really beef. Um, yeah, and I started to go to a lot of vegan places around the area. I've really been enjoying the food, to be honest. It tastes great to me. Um, yeah. So yeah.
Wow. So you just
But
basically became a
I'm sorry.
vegetarian.
Yeah, in a way, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I still, like I said, I sometimes get a burger, but for the most part,
Every now and then.
yeah, it's really rare. But yeah, I started to get active because I don't know, like simply quarantine. I cannot stay in my room. When it started, that was a huge issue. Like I'm not interested in sitting at my computer for hours and hours and stressing myself out for why. Like no, like I'm just not interested. So I started to walk around the neighborhood, and then I got a pass at Stone Mountain. And like I said, I like to hike. So I started to go there every day, like consistently. And that's a far drive for me, but it was worth it. Um,
Wow.
and yeah, I just started to just really go outside because I really felt connected. I really felt that I also didn't know I was shedding a lot of weight until I had to go to Arizona, and I didn't have any clothes, and I was just like, I gotta go buy some clothes. So I went to this place called Garage, and I picked up some pants, and he was like, "Why do you have these pants on? These are way too big." And I was like, I don't know. I just thought they would be fit because that was the last thing I knew from, when I was bigger. And then he was like, "You're a size 7." I was like, "No, I'm not. What are you talking about?" And so basically, I honestly didn't even know how I kind of shed my weight. Like it was oblivious. I was oblivious to the whole situation. So yeah.
So you weren't like a slave to the scale, or you weren't really watching.
Oh, no, 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 no. Because I'm more of a person, like if I look good in that dress or I look good in those jeans, like I'm not too worried about what that number
The
says, because
number.
simply that number can be water weight. It can also be your chest, your boobs, and it's so much more than simply just, you know,
Yeah.
your fat, it's muscles as well. Like it's literally more to that number.
Wow. Well, I guess I better stop eating the meat, honey.
No, do what you want to do. No,
No,
it's
I,
not that
I
deep.
did watch a documentary, and they were actually, it was something about meat, and they were showing how they take the animals to slaughter and how their adrenaline, they know they're getting ready to die,
Yeah,
and and that transfers to the muscle, the meat that we eat.
exactly.
So yeah, and those chicken plans, girl. About after that, I didn't eat meat for a while,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I guess I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, right. Keep rewatching it every single time you think about me. But
I'm gonna have my husband watch it because he loves steak, and I'm like, I never used to eat beef before I met him, but
yeah.
he likes it. So I have one last question for you. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. It's been such a pleasure talking with you, but I
Yeah,
do
same
have
here.
one more question for you.
Mhm.
Now, so if there was one thing, one that you could change in the whole wide world to make it a better place for your generation, what would it be? And you can think about
Okay. Because this is a thought.
it.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, one thing. Yeah, it's a hard one.
darn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, one little thing.
I don't want to say this because it's so good. Like, no, I'm not. I I don't know. I can't say that because I just feel
Because
like
good.
I want. I just feel like our generation is so disconnected. Though we're connected in a way, like we're kind of all. I feel like fast paced, moving people, like the younger generation, I guess. But for the most part, we don't know how to speak. We don't know how to communicate. There's a huge problem with communication in my generation. Like people don't like to talk. It's just really weird. So I honestly would be like, I don't know, get rid of like the phones. Like it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but it's a horrible thing because they're so like tuned into the phone. Like there is nothing that matters but electronics or like the likes or like the things that you can do on the phone. Or I don't know, maybe it's simply probably let's get rid of the apps, the social
Mm,
media. How about that? Let's not get rid of the phones. But at the same time, once again, I promote everything on my apps. Oh my goodness. This is a
one
hard
thing.
question. This is a hard question.
Okay, so what was the good one? What was the good one you don't want to? Was that the phones?
No, no, no. That was the phone. Yeah, it was like it's good that we have them, but it was bad that I like. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It has a good. I
But
feel like it has more bad things than good. That's just me.
who in the world is that? Okay,
Okay.
so somebody. Okay,
Okay.
you don't even want to hear what that comment is. Just came through.
Okay.
It's a spam. I think. I think it's a
Okay.
spam.
Okay. Okay.
So with that one thing, if we were serious and we took that one thing, how would it change the world? Make us connect more personally?
Well, because you can't go backwards. So I feel like honestly, we will still have that understanding. What am I trying to say here? I don't know. I simply don't know. This is a really difficult question for me because I feel like if we did get rid of the phones or get rid of the apps, let's just say the apps, not the phones, keep the phones. Um, I feel like people's self esteem will be better. I feel like people will really wouldn't compare too much.
Okay.
And I, I I think, like I said, I think that's a huge issue in all generations. Like it's comparing, like, oh, I got a husband and wife in a nice house, like, and I'm about to show on Instagram. Like, no one cares. Like,
Yeah.
Talaina, don't care. I don't have my regular social media because I wouldn't say I don't care about people's lives because I really truly do, but for the most part, that's not my goal at the end of the day. My goal is to connect and have people connect, but there's really so much tension with this connection because of these likes or like these slick comments, these sub tweets, people tweeting under other people's things, or like simply Facebook drama. Like it's unnecessary. And Yeah.
I agree with you with the social media because I think the social media it's created a whole like you said, it's everybody's judging everybody else and wanting to compete, and in their lifestyle, it's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a
And
lie. If
you're
you
only getting a snippet. You're only getting a snippet of people's lives. Like people be really struggling.
right, but you look at Instagram or Facebook, and they live in large, and that's just not true. It's just not true at all.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on the social media. I think, but I'm at this point, I'm not sure. From a business perspective, I love it.
Right. Yeah.
But from a personal perspective, it because I cannot tell you how many times I'm on my scrolling through my personal timeline. I'm like, really? You really got to show the world your BMW you just bought or your
Yeah.
Benz you just bought. I just come from a different place than that. It's like
Same.
I don't have to talk to you about what I have. I don't have to show
Exactly.
it. I don't have to, but it's a lot of that. And it's just creating just too much competition. People upset with each other. Oh, you didn't like my thing on Facebook or you didn't really.
Yeah, and it's like I actually had a comment. Someone thought I blocked them because I deactivated my social media, and so they lose a follower because they care too much about followers. And I was like, "You really think I care enough to block you? You think I went out of my way to block you? No, I don't care."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And exactly, Tracy, you're right. God is the only judge. But I don't think we see it. A lot of us, I ain't gonna say us because I'm not in that one, but a lot of people don't see it that way. They feel like they have to live a certain way or show that they live a certain way to be accepted. And it's completely unnecessary, I feel.
Yeah,
But that's the way it is. But I'm
it is.
so glad you hung out with me. Thank you, ladies, for hanging out with us. I think we had some guy came in here talking about herpes before, so I blocked him. Now
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did
Great.
block him. That's why I look like what? Okay, we're not talking about that tonight.
Yeah. No, not tonight.
But yes, any gold nuggets you'd like to leave with our viewers? Just any words of wisdom, anything from your business experience, your life experience, whatever you want to
Yeah.
leave with our viewers is great.
Just know you're a soul having a human body experience, and I feel like you should trust the process. So that's all.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, I appreciate you again for hanging out with me. And you got to come back on, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
No one
What?
just escapes me like that. You're mine
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Tracy, I'm taking your baby. She's mine. But you are a beautiful soul, and I've enjoyed every minute of talking with you. And I'm here if you need anything that I can provide. I don't know, and you're welcome to come on the show anytime. And anytime I have the opportunity to support you, I will.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, love. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Bye,
Okay.
go friends. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Bye bye.